everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is a blue-collar wine show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. This will be the final series or part on great budget-friendly wines for holiday parties, and we're going to focus on white wine, sparkling wine, and white wine. We did 2 on reds, found some pretty good values in the red wine category, and now we're going to go into the sparkling and white wines, because you know, you have those at Christmas parties as well, and at your home when you're having friends over. I'm sure of that, especially sparkling wine. So we're going to get started right away with a Prosecco. Now, in the United States, wine consumption is on a little bit of a slide, which is interesting, but Prosecco's sales are gaining strength. So Prosecco is very popular. I noticed that around Thanksgiving, we sold a lot more Prosecco than we have in the past. So yes, it's true, even in the San Juan Islands. So let's get started. Let's get this bad boy opened up. Prosecco is really nice. I used to refer to it as Avion with bubbles back in the day, but there's so many more since then. Now there's a lot of Prosecco available. And Prosecco can only come from northern Italy, of course, to be called Prosecco. It's a really light style wine. Done in the Charmat method, which is where they actually inject the bubbles in a tank into the wine. Color is kind of gold on this one. This is an extra dry, and of course it's confusing as it can be with some of these. Extra dry means a little bit sweeter than brut. But you know, you'd read the label and you go, oh, it says extra dry. Why isn't it extra dry? This rolls in at $14, really nice price point. So they have a big tank and they have a device that shoots the bubbles in there, gives it that bubbly. Not quite as bubbly as, let's say, a champagne or some other sparkling wines. But yeah, there's not very many bubbles on this one, actually, and it's kind of a light gold color, almost a hay. Let's see what we get on those. Kind of an apple pear thing going on. It's blowing like crazy. You can probably hear it on this video. It's just whipping. The wind is just whipping, and it's raining. That's why I have the hoodie on. Seahawks love. So I'm getting kind of a dusty minerality as well. Valdobbiadene is the area where a lot of these Proseccos come from. This one does not say Valdobbiadene, it just says denomination control Prosecco. Santa Marina Prosecco, $14. Let's see what we get on the palate. Big foam in the mouth. A lot of foam, but it has a nice delicious factor to it. I wouldn't call this anywhere sweet. Maybe not as dry as a brut, but I think it has nice balance. Nice pear and apple notes on this one. Really kind of a delicious Prosecco. Yeah, just real easy to drink. This is a real crowd pleaser. Kind of nice to do an extra dry because then you don't know what, you know, if people like real linear, sharper sparkling wines. This has nice juiciness to it. I like that. But I like those apple and pear notes. Nice balance, real easy to drink Prosecco. The only people that might not like it are people that are hooked on brut, but I think it's really good. I'm gonna go B- on that one. Solid Prosecco, $14 is a great price. Prosecco prices have gone up recently, but you know, we still sell a lot of them, and you know, the big one is not La Marca. La Marca Prosecco, huge, and it's up in the $20 range. So nice to get one for 14 bucks. Great party wine, a great party sparkler, I should say. Now we're going to move on to one I'm always excited about, Cava. Cava is such a great value. They do it method Champenois, or the traditional method, and they're just, some of them are just fantastic deals. So this is the Dibon Brut Selection Cava. And it's a brut. It's a blend of Macabeo, Zorello, Macabeo, and Parellada. Those are kind of the main grapes of Cava, although now they're allowing Chardonnay in there and that sort of thing. So yeah, and of course it's over by Barcelona. The region is over there, so you know they get that nice Mediterranean climate. And this Dibon, however you want to say it, is $10. $10, guys. I've got a lot of people hooked on this that come into the store. Method traditionnel. So that means they make it just like a champagne, which is just, yeah, fermented in this bottle. There you go. $10. Of course, we know, land is cheaper there, and that's in Barcelona. I don't know. Labor's cheaper, that sort of thing. Give it a little bit of a rinse. Quite a mousse on this one. Look at that foam on that baby. Of course, I'm doing it out of regular glass because I didn't want to. You can do that. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, nice little mousse on there. Foam. This one is also kind of a hay color. So, okay, not the grapes of Champagne, the grapes of Spain, but they do it in method traditionnel, which is really, really cool. So let's see what we get on those. Ooh, nice fruity aromatics. I definitely get an apple characteristic coming through as well as pear, very similar to the Prosecco. There's also kind of almond notes coming through a little bit. Probably has some lees contact, the yeast, they leave it on the yeast in the bottle. So it's going to gain some of that toasty kind of almond characteristic that comes through on the nose. As well as that pear and apple. Let's see what we get on the palate. Okay. Nice and crisp and fresh in the mouth, which, if you're a real big bubblehead, you kind of like that. Like the delicious factor of the Prosecco. I can show you the bottle again. $10. But nice linear, kind of good acidity, nicely balanced acid. The almond notes come through big time. Get a little bit of a toasty element on the backside, along with the kind of more of a, I would say, red delicious apple, definitely pear, maybe hedging towards Asian pear, because you don't get that strong Bartlett pear sort of thing. But nice and fresh in the mouth, good acidity, that's very balanced. This is a stellar, this is a steal for this bottle of wine, $10. I love that kind of lees thing that happens in this wine, but not over the top. So it's a nicely balanced, brut style, sparkling wine made from grapes, Parellada, Macabeo, Xarello, all grapes that are most people aren't familiar with, from the Penedès region of Spain, but just well made. I mean, for $10, guys, it's crazy. I mean, seriously crazy that you can get a bottle of sparkling wine this good for $10. What a price for throwing a party at your house. You're having folks over, you want to serve some sparkling wine, solid wine for that money. Considering the QPR quality price ratio, I'm going to go BB plus on that. I think it's a solid sparkling wine. Yeah, that bottle won't last long. Just saying. Okay, now we're going to move on to still whites. This is from Scarpeta. This is a group of, I think a couple of Psalms got together and they work with wineries to have their wines made. And this is a Frico Bianco, made 100% Friulano, which is a grape that is often mistaken for Sauvignon Blanc. It can be also known as Sauvignon Vert, but it has no relationship to Sauvignon Blanc at all. But Friulano, if you haven't had one, these are fantastic wines. They really, really are. And this is $11. See, these are great price points. Let's see if this is up to the task of being a good party wine. I'm familiar with this. My wife really loves this wine. I don't drink it as much, but I've had it I don't think I've had it recently, so I'm very excited to try it. Again, more of a hay color, a little bit of a gold tinge to it. Let's see what we get on the nose. Has a little bit of a stink action going on, which is kind of cool, and maybe not. You don't have to worry about that at a party because very few of your guests I would assume, will not dig their nose into the wine. This is a pet peeve of mine, but it happens. It's the reality of it. I encourage everybody to smell the wine. It's like putting a clothespin on your nose when you're eating food. It doesn't taste, you don't get the taste. So smelling is important. This has a little funk, a little grassiness. I'm getting a little almond characteristic, like green almond. Melon for sure, some white flower notes coming through. And there's kind of there's just a hint of almost like a pomelo. Yeah, let's see what we get on the palate. It's going to be hard to drink this one behind the bong. Okay, very fresh, clean, good acidity. The almond notes are definitely in there. The melon notes for sure. A little bit of white flower action. That pomelo kind of thing going on in there. Doesn't go big at all into grapefruit. I know it doesn't because my wife does not like grapefruit-driven wines. But there's a pomelo element in there. Almost, I'm also getting a little papaya. But good acidity. Solid acid. So a little grassiness coming through as well. I like the balance on this wine. Very good. For $11, I understand why my wife likes it so much. It's been a while since I've had it. So I'm also getting a green apple kind of characteristic on this wine. Hey bro, I'm shooting an episode. I'll be done in a minute. All right. The brothers are coming to help me move some things around at the house, so that's cool. Like the pomelo coming through as well. And the grassiness is not over the top, but it's there. And this is very kind of complex for $11. Just saying. I mean, Friulano, great wine. I can see where it might be mistaken for Sauvignon Blanc. No, nice freshness, a little juiciness, good linear acidity. This would be a great oyster wine, clams, anything like that. This would be perfect if you're having some nice, stinky cheeses. This would be great. I'm going to go B on that solid wine for $11. Frico Bianco. Now, there's always the Chardonnay people come to your parties, and you want a Chardonnay that's reasonably priced. I just discovered this not too long ago. And I tried it. I thought it was, very, very decent Chardonnay for $12. So this is the Carmel Road Chardonnay, Monterey County, 2021. I don't think I gave this this is a 21 as well. Sorry about that. The other two are non-vintage, but this is 12.5 alcohol on the Frico Bianco, which, a lot of people like the lower alcohol wines. This is, of course, this is 13.5. So this is Chardonnay, Carmel Road, Monterey County, $12. $12, guys. Okay, so you have some Chardonnay people coming over. You don't want to spend a ton of money. Certainly don't want to do Rombauer for 47 or 44 bucks. So, golden color. Yes, golden color. So on the nose, you get a little bit of that kind of buttery, kind of caramel toffee thing, which is what a lot of people are looking for. They're Chardonnay drinkers. I'm getting a bit of pear notes coming through on this as well. Yeah, you can get that toffee tone on it pretty clearly. I'm a big toffee guy. Don't eat it anymore because it just kind of kills your teeth, but I like toffee, really do. Okay, let's see what we get on the palate. Clean on the finish, but you have all those elements that a lot of Chardonnay lovers are looking for. You have a little bit of that kind of toffee, caramel, some butter notes coming through as well. But I like this Chardonnay because it's balanced. It's not over the top, big, buttery Chard. You don't get a lot of wood on this one. Obviously, for $12, you're not going to put a lot of, if any, oak on it. What they like to do is put staves in it. oak staves, or sometimes they use oak chips. I hate Chardonnay where they use oak dust. They have actually bags with oak dust and they dip them in the wine. I can, scope those out right away, sniff those out right away. I do not like those wines. This has nice balance, nice fresh acidity that keeps everything in check. So this would satisfy people that maybe don't like the big buttery Chards, and it could satisfy people that like a little bit of buttery, kind of toffee elements on the Chardonnay. So it's kind of in the middle, which is really cool. The pear notes coming through as well. Yeah, I think it's just a nice Chardonnay, for lack of a better term. A nicely balanced, fresh, delicious Chard for $12. Doesn't have any of that makeup on it that I often see with those, like the, oak dust bags that they dip in the Chardonnay. Does not go there at all. A little bit of apple coming through as well on the finish, especially. Now this isn't going to please all the big buttery guys, but I think this is just nicely well-made wine. Nicely well-made wine. Strikes a balance. Good food wine, by the way. This would also go well with shellfish and some cheeses, of course, and just all by itself. It's it's a solo wine, which you want at a party a lot of times, because some people just want to sit there and sip their wine. So I think for $12, I think the quality of this wine is. The QPR, quality price ratio, is pretty good for this wine. Carmel Road, I'm going to go B minus B. I'm going up there on this one. Well, let's stay at B minus. I'm going to stay at B minus. But I want to go to B. I do. No, I'm not sure. Let's go B minus B. There's nothing fake about this wine. It doesn't have makeup. It's just well-made, fresh, delicious Chardonnay. Has a nice kind of toffee elements coming through, a little bit of butter, but very fresh. I like that. Good balance. Good Chardonnay. It tastes different to me, a little bit different than the last time I tasted, which is interesting. There you have it. 3 parts on budget-friendly wines for Christmas parties and just, people coming over to your house to kind of celebrate the holidays. Nice to have some wines that don't break the bank. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. On my next episode, I'm going to do a shout out. I promise I'll do a shout out to the new subscribers. But my bros are coming to help me move stuff. Got to move on. Thanks. If you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. Then you see what's coming up. You don't have to watch them all, of course not. But at least you see what's coming up. Hit the like button if you like this video. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.